If you're taking the Goethe exam 2026, this is what you need to know about Schreiben. Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're putting a laser focus entirely on the writing section of the Goethe B2 exam. No distractions, no fluff, just a clear step-by-step breakdown of exactly what the examiners want to see from you and how you can deliver it to absolutely maximize your score. 75. That is the exact number of minutes you have to complete the entire writing section. Now, it sounds like a lot of time, right? Well, until you're sitting in that chair staring at a completely blank page. The clock is ticking, and without a solid plan, those minutes will just vanish. But here's the good news. With the right strategy, 75 minutes is actually more than enough time to craft 2 high-scoring texts. Okay, let's dive right into this blueprint. First up, we'll look at the format and evaluation. Second, we'll break down Task 1, the forum post. Third, we'll tackle Task 2, the formal email. And finally, we'll wrap it all up with a final checklist to keep you on track.
All right, part 1, format and evaluation. Essentially, these are the rules of the game.
Moving from exam anxiety to absolute mastery really begins with understanding exactly what you're facing. The Schreiben module isn't trying to trick you. It's a highly structured test, and if you respect that structure, you're gonna succeed. So how should those 75 minutes be strategically split? Well, you have 2 distinct tasks. Task 1 is a forum post requiring a minimum of 150 words. You'll want to allocate about 50 minutes of your time to this one because it really requires some deeper argumentation. Task 2, on the other hand, is a formal email or message. It's quite a bit shorter, requiring a minimum of 100 words, so you should spend your remaining 25 minutes here. Managing this time split, that's literally your very first test. Now, you might be wondering, how are you actually graded? You're not just getting a simple thumbs up or thumbs down for finishing. The examiners use 4 very specific criteria. First up is content, and this is huge. It means you must address every single point they ask for in the prompt. Miss one, and you lose points. Second is text structure, which is all about your logical flow, having clear introductions and solid conclusions. Third is vocabulary. Here you really need to show off varied B2 level words, not just the basics. And finally, correctness, which is simply your grammar and spelling. Keep these 4 pillars in the back of your mind for literally every sentence you write. Let's move on to Task 1, the forum post. This is where you'll be arguing your opinion. Remember, we're aiming for at least 150 words here. In Task 1, you will always be given 4 specific points to cover about a certain topic. For example, let's say the topic is environmental pollution from plastic packaging. Your prompt will explicitly tell you to give your opinion on plastic packaging, give reasons why it's so common, name alternative ways of packaging things, and finally, name the advantages of those alternatives. You absolutely must explicitly write about all 4 of these steps. If you just write a beautifully brilliant essay on plastic but completely forget to list the advantages of the alternatives, your content score will immediately drop. Now, to score high on text structure, your post actually needs to physically look organized on the page. Examiners are scanning your text for distinct visual blocks. You need an introduction where you greet the forum members and introduce the topic. Then, a structured middle where you clearly address those 4 prompt points, ideally broken up into paragraphs. And finally, a conclusion where you summarize your thoughts and sign off. Whatever you do, please do not just write one giant unbroken block of text. Now, what's really interesting is how you actually start writing. Using a specific German phrase like "Zu Beginn lässt sich sagen, dass" instantly signals to the examiner that you're operating at a true B2 level. You're not just dropping in with a basic, "Hello, today I will write about plastic." Instead, you're opening with a highly sophisticated, structured phrase that sets a very professional tone for your entire post. And when you get to that crucial first bullet point of the prompt, expressing your opinion, you need to be direct. Use meine Meinung nach to clearly plant your flag. Doing this guarantees the examiner knows exactly where you're addressing the first required point of the task. It removes any ambiguity, making sure you secure those absolutely vital content points. To really maximize your vocabulary and structure scores, you have to weigh the positive and negative points, and this means using advanced connectors. Instead of just relying on basic words like and or but, you want to level up your writing. Use jedoch to introduce a sharp contrast, or sowohl also to show that something has 2 connected qualities. So, for example, explaining that plastic is both cheap and practical. This exact kind of variety is what examiners are hunting for in a top-tier B2 candidate. Okay, let's shift gears and talk about Task 2, the formal email. This is your professional communication test, and you've got about 25 minutes for it.
The biggest shift in this second task is the tone. You are communicating in a highly formal setting now. But just like task 1, you're going to get 4 strict points to hit. Let's look at a realistic scenario. Imagine you're doing an internship, but you're currently in the middle of moving houses and you're just too busy to finish your tasks. You have to write to your manager. The prompt might ask you to ask for understanding, describe your situation, show understanding for the company's situation, and make a proposal. You have to structure your email to hit every single one of these beats logically. Because this is a formal email, nailing the salutation from the get-go is non-negotiable. If you're writing to a man, you must write Sehr geehrter Herr Scheibner with an R at the end of geehrte. If it were a woman, it would be Sehr geehrte Frau. Getting this tiny detail wrong immediately hurts both your correctness and structure scores, so be absolutely sure to memorize these formal greetings before exam day.
A truly great email flows logically, right from the problem down to the solution. You need to seamlessly connect your excuse directly to your polite request. You can start off by explaining your situation with derzeit, meaning currently, I have so much to do with moving. Then, link it directly to the consequence using deshalb möchte ich Sie bitten, meaning therefore I would like to ask you for a few days off. This creates fantastic cohesion and flow that examiners love.
And this brilliantly illustrates a high-scoring strategy. To hit that final prompt point, making a proposal while simultaneously showing off advanced grammar, use the subjunctive second. Instead of bluntly saying, I will work on Saturday, make a highly polite professional proposal. Wäre es möglich? Would it be possible? That right there is a massive point winner. It proves you completely understand professional workplace etiquette in German.
Finally, you need to wrap up the email safely and professionally. Mit freundlichen Grüßen is the absolute gold standard for formal German correspondence. Just write it out, add your name below it, and you've cleanly finished your 100-word task without taking any unnecessary risks right at the finish line. Okay, bringing it all together. The final checklist, exactly what you need to do before you submit. We have covered a ton of ground today, and the clock is ticking down, so let's quickly review your Schreiben exam checklist. First, strictly stick to your time plan. 50 minutes for the forum, 25 for the email. Second, make sure you cross off exactly 4 prompt points per task as you write them. Third, ensure you comfortably hit the 150 and 100-word minimums. Fourth, pepper your text with those great B2 connectors like jedoch and polite subjunctive structures. And lastly, and this is absolutely crucial, always save a few minutes at the very end to proofread. You'd be amazed how many simple grammar mistakes are caught on a quick second read. So here's my final question for you. Are you going to let 75 minutes stand between you and your B2 certificate? Of course not. You've got the blueprint, you know exactly what the examiners are looking for, and you know exactly how to structure your answers. Take this framework, start practicing these specific tasks right away, and go conquer that exam.